Is it possible that we are presenting Yeshua as the Messiah, but with a mask on his face? Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute Torah, day number 3, the Torah portion of Vayigash. Let's continue now in Bereshit, or Genesis, chapter number 45, beginning with verse 2. Speaking of Joseph, it says, "And he wept aloud, and the Mitzrites in the house of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph, Ani Yosef. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers were unable to answer him, for they trembled before him. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Please come near me." And when they came near, he said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Mitzrayim. And now do not be grieved nor displeased with yourselves because you sold me here, for Elohim sent me before you to preserve life." In the writings of the rabbinical sages, there is found a book called Kol HaTorah, the voice of the turtle dove, written by Rabbi Hillel Shklover, the grandnephew and disciple of the famous Gaon of Vilna. And in his writings, he says this concerning Messiah ben Yosef. Quote, "Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. This is one of the traits of Joseph, not only in his own generation, but in every generation. That is, Mashiach ben Yosef recognizes his brothers, but they do not recognize him. This is the work of Satan, who hides the characteristics of Mashiach ben Yosef so that the footsteps of the Mashiach are not recognized and are even belittled because of our many sins." Then he says this, "Otherwise our troubles would have already ended. Were Israel to recognize Joseph, that is, the footsteps of ben Yosef the Mashiach, which is the ingathering of the exiles, then we would have already been redeemed with a complete redemption." Find that fascinating, that insight there, that it is the concealing of Joseph that prevented the brothers from recognizing their own family. Now, as we enter into this storyline, Joseph is standing before them, still, in my estimation, understanding, still with Mitzrite or Egyptian makeup on, headdress, maybe even a wig. And he has, to this point, spoken to them through an interpreter. Now this same man is speaking to them in fluent Hebrew, perhaps even with a proper accent on his words. He has perhaps removed his headdress, and he has revealed himself to them, yet they cannot fully recognize him. This just can't be. They're too stunned into silence. And he's looking and saying, "Look, it's me, Joseph. I'm the one who is speaking to you." It probably took them several seconds to realize that he was speaking to them no longer through an interpreter, but in Hebrew. So this is the same way it is with Yeshua to his Hebrew brethren, to his Jewish brethren in particular. He came to them, he has come to us, and we fail to recognize him. Now, before we start picking up our accusational stones and throwing them at Jewish individuals and say, well, they should have recognized him. He was as hidden to them as he has been to us. And while we stand to proclaim him, it is the version of him that we proclaim that causes many to misidentify him. We wonder why for many, many generations the Jews have rejected, quote unquote, Jesus. Well, the way that our Messiah has been presented as one who has replaced the Torah of Moshe with the doctrine of grace, the one who is celebrated with holidays that they do not recognize, that the holidays and the feast days that should be celebrated and connected, we gloss over those and say they've been done away with. So for those who claim Yeshua, to present him outside of his reality causes those who need to know him the most to fail to recognize him. May it be safe to say that Yeshua, in many aspects on both sides, among those who are the house of Joseph and those who are of the house of Yehuda, the Jews and the Goyim, if you want to put it in that context, the Gentiles, he is a mask on to both sides and is yet to be fully revealed. So much so that Revelation says that when he appears, that men will fall on their face, men will pray for the rocks to cover them. The reality of who he is will be too much for any of us. So Joseph says, I'm Joseph. The Chofetz Chaim writes this: when he said, I am Joseph, God's master plan became clear to the brothers. They had no more questions. Everything that had happened for the last 22 years fell into perspective. So too will it be in the time to come when God will reveal himself and announce, I am the Lord. The veil will be lifted from our eyes and we will comprehend everything that transpires throughout history. Again, that's from the Chofetz Chaim, a rabbinical writing. So Joseph now understands why he has been sold into slavery. He's there for the purpose of serving his brothers. His first question, though, is my father still alive? It was Joseph's relationship with his father that caused such animosity and jealousy among his siblings. Yet they don't seem to be concerned when this takes place now. There's no immediate flaming of passions here. The reality of Joseph's relationship with the father becomes clearer, better understood. Again, now we're back to Yeshua's relationship with the father. Many have lost their way because they cannot understand the sublime mystery of how Yeshua and Yah, our Father, are related, how they are connected together. Are there three, or is there a trinity? Is there not a trinity? Is it a duality? Is it an echad nature of two parts? Exactly how does Yeshua and Yahweh relate together? Yeshua just simply says we are echad, we are one. We're asking our finite brains, we're asking our limited wisdom, we're asking more production of power than our brains are able and our spirits are able to comprehend and produce. I think of, as a kid, watching Star Trek on TV, and Scotty is the engineer in the middle of the ship. He's been asked for more speed, and he's hollering, I'm giving her all she's got. She's going to blow. That's kind of what's going on in our brains. We're asking our minds and ability to perceive and understand to produce more than what it is capable of doing. Suffice it to say that Yeshua is the right arm of Yah's salvation. He is the word of Yah revealed. He is the extension of Yah's glory and brightness, Hebrews chapter 1 says, that is visible to us. There is a part of Yah that is absolutely unable to be seen or understood, higher than we could ever perceive. And he has revealed himself by choice through Yeshua as the seeable part of himself. It's the best I know how to put it. The reality is, though, that connection is what is holding this thing all together. Everything will make sense once Yeshua is fully revealed. Let's reveal him. find a way to reveal him in a greater way. And we'll see you again tomorrow. And then shalom.